Hey everyone, this is Ed from Tech Talk. In today's video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to create a book, even if you don't have any major writing skills in 2025. I wrote this book, The Trojan Border, or created this book. I did participating parts of the writing and the concept of the book. And obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but I used AI to create the cover and it's only been out since the 18th, and I've got 2 reviews already, and I'm hoping to get more reviews. I have sold a few books already, and so far, anyone that's read portions of the sample, which you can come back here, I'll give the link in the description. You can come back and you can read the sample and just get an idea of how well these books are written. Plus, I did do some editing myself, so but let me show you real quick. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to the process that I use to go through and create this book. So basically, um, I started out with asking Google Gemini, hey, what genres are dominating book sales right now? So I am terribly wrote, can you give me 5 excellent book ideas that you find is most searched genres? So it looks like the most searched genres are romantasy, psychological thriller, cozy mystery, self-help productivity, and historical fiction. Then I went on to say, can you give me an idea of psychological thriller titles? And it did. At some point, I said, well, which one would you suggest? It went with The Woman Who Didn't Blink. And I thought that was a great idea because I was looking at that one thinking, okay, this sounds like a good kind of a thriller book. Um, so then I asked it, can you basically give me an outline and what would that look like? And books and plays are usually based on like 3 acts, and in this one it's considered part one. But basically, the Gemini lays out everything for you. Now, you can go in here and read every single one of these. I'm not going to do it here, but when I created my book, I did go through here and I changed everything that I did not like. I wrote what I needed for it to be in there because the book was made for a reason. It was made for not only to be captivating, but it was meant to tell the story from beginning to end of, and had to focus on having buses coming in and illegal immigrants coming in. And then I gave it the end result too, because you really want to tell at the end of your story. Because if you don't, it may not, it may not create exactly what you're looking for. So at some point, I get down to where I say, all right, can you give me this in an outline, a single outline? So Claude said, sure, I can. And I also said, well, do you think this genre is oversaturated? Because I want to know if I can still make money. But in Claude or Gemini clearly came back and said, yes, it is currently one of the most crowded and competitive, but it's also one of the biggest sought out and most viewed and browsed. So basically saying, you should probably try it. So I continued with it. So um, let me show you what it came out. So it came up with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this comprehensive outline, The Woman Who Didn't Blink, and I'm gonna copy the whole thing. I'm gonna go copy. Now, keep in mind, if anything in this video helps you, please consider at least giving a thumbs up. I don't expect you to subscribe, but I'm also going to create a video on showing you how I created an ad for this. So if that interests you, I would consider hitting the thumbs up or subscribing and then hitting the bell so you get notified because I'm going to show you a real quick, easy way to create an ad to promote. Because if you're new to Amazon selling books, high probability you're not gonna sell too quick, except for maybe to your friends and family. So now I'm going to ask Claude, hey, can you help me write this book based on the following outline. So we're just going to type outline. And then I'm just going to go Control V. And let's see what Claude can come up with. Now, keep in mind, Claude is free to use for a certain period. It will create so much for you at a time. And then at some point, it'll say, okay, you can come back at 5 o'clock p.m. or 7 o'clock p.m. or whatever. In a minute, I will show you when this is done generating, I will show you, um, you know, where you can go if you want to purchase, the monthly subscription for it, which I want to say is actually pretty cheap, but I'll go ahead and pause this for a second and till it's done. Okay, as you can see, Claude went ahead and said, okay, let me create a comprehensive writing guide and sample opening characters to get you started. Now, if you don't like any of these character names, you can say, hey, Claude, can you change the names of these characters? And Claude will do so. So what has Claude done? I've created a comprehensive writing guide with sample opening characters for your thriller. The artifact includes detailed character development, um, structural techniques, for unreliable narration and planting clues, two complete sample characters that establish Anna's insomnia, her obsession with Sarah, and the Jennifer Hammond cold case connection. Tactical guidance. So down here, you'll say, would you like me to draft additional specific characters like the police confrontation in Chapter 10 or the midpoint twist, develop more detailed scene by scene breakdown for any section, create character backstory documents or world building details about Hammond, adjust the tone, pacing, or Anna's voice in the samples? So this is where I would say, um, Claude, what would you suggest that would get us a um, full book that keeps the reader wanting more and be around 100 and let's say 130,000, 100, let's say 120,000 pages. Um, let's say in size. Let's see. So basically, I'm asking it, because typical book is like 120 120,000 words or something like that. And then we're going to see if we can get Claude to actually create the book. So as you can see, Claude literally breaks down all the chapters, and you can go through and um, read every bit of this and say, okay, do we want to change anything? But anyways, when you get here, if you like what you're seeing, you can at any time you can read. I would encourage you to read whatever it is that Claude is giving you, and then so what I'm going to ask it is if we can start writing the book one chapter at a time. I'm going to say thank you. I like what we have. Can you start writing the book? So now, hopefully, it's going to start writing what should be over 120 word book, 120,000 word book. I'm going to pause this and I'll come back when it's done. It might take a bit. I don't know if Claude's going to let me do any more after this because, like I said, I'm using the free version. But I'll be back in just a moment. All right, so now Claude is done creating up to chapter 4. And like I was saying before, each time it Claude creates a chapter, you should read it and see if that's what you like. So that way you don't have to come back to Claude again and have them rewrite it. But so you just read through this, for example, this is when my heart starts doing the thing, the racing thing, the thing that makes my chest feel too small and my breath come in shallow gasp that fog the window glass. I mean, just read through it, make sure everything makes sense. Or you can just let Claude finish this, and then when you're done, bring this into Microsoft Word or the free version of um, the LibreOffice and bring it in there, and then you can finish because there's a lot more. When this is all done, you're going to have to take this and put it in the whatever book format that you're looking to create it in. For example, I did a 6 by 9. Um, Amazon gives you the templates, all of that. If you need help with that, just let me know. But anyways, here we are. So Claude has created this script, and like I said, you should read through it. And here we are. Claude's
which we can
asking you
do.
now, continue with
And you
chapter
can do one
5,
chapter at a time if you want.
or you can do keep writing sequentially through all 35 chapters. I'm going to just say yes to the keep writing sequentially. So yes, yes, please. Continue writing sequentially. I have no clue why I capitalized that sequentially, but I did it anyways. Thank you. See, I'm trying to be polite because if AI is going to take over the world, I want AI to remember that I was always nice. So then I'm going to hit yes, please continue writing sequentially. Thank you. And it should continue. Now, I want to say that it's going to continue doing everything, but I found more times than not, once it gets done with a chapter, it'll stop and give you the option to continue. Where I would suggest that if it does do that, just browse through the chapter quick, just see if there's anything you like, and then have it fix it then. Because if you don't, fixing it later is a little bit more difficult. It'll fix it, but then you got to go piece it together in Word. Like you've got to take everything that Claude changed, and you've got to go copy and paste it in there, and you have to have it sequentially correct. Um, you're going to have to read the whole thing anyways, and you're going to have to go into, and that's one of the warnings I'm going to give you is that you should go into the plagiarism test. So let's see, I think it was Grammarly. Yeah, let's see. I go to Grammarly, and then what I do is I take one page at a time, and I literally paste it in here, and then I do a check. And usually, now keep in mind, every so often you're going to run into you're going to run into an issue where this is going to say that it is plagiarized. If you get that, come back to Gemini, paste the page into Gemini, and say, what do you think is plagiarized in here, or why did Grammarly flag this as plagiarism? And you're going to find that it's just incidental plagiarism, and it's not really plagiarism. You're going to find that it's not going to hinder your book. You could actually keep it there, or you can say, "Hey, Google Gemini, what should I do to fix the plagiarism in this?" Do that, have it rewrite it, then bring it back into the book and the whole page, and or bring it back to Grammarly first, paste it in here. And now keep in mind, if you do the free version of Grammarly, which it's not free, it will let you use it, but you're going to have to go back out of here, and then you're going to have to go back in again, and you're going to have to start you're going to have to reopen Grammarly. Otherwise, it won't let you do it again. So keep that in mind, but I'll have that in the link. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I'd be more than happy to give you more information. This is not the best thought out video in the world. I just wanted to share this with you because I think if you're going to be writing a book in 2025, this Claude is absolutely amazing. It really is. So keep in mind, this is also going to come to a point where it's going to say, hey, your limit is up. I can't do any more for you until 5 o'clock or whatever time. So as you can see, it said, I've added chapter 5 and 6, chapter 5 and 6, and it tells you what it did. And then it'll say, should I continue with chapter 7? So this is more what I expected to do. It's just going to continue all the way to all until all of your chapters are done. And that's pretty much it. I mean, and then what I'm going to say is, although it may actually, I don't know how far it will go because it only gives you so much time. So let me see what happens. I'm going to say, yes, please continue to, or continue with chapter 7. And then it should just continue writing chapter 7. And I think you're going to find that Claude is absolutely amazing at writing. And you're going to find some things in here that you're going to want to go through and change, maybe. But for the most part, you might even not like the structure. So you might go back in and say, okay, no, I'm going to rewrite this so it doesn't have parentheses or it doesn't have a hash in it. But it's up to you. I mean, definitely you need to check it for plagiarism. It's AI, so you don't know. And um, the book the book title, just remember to go and look up and make sure that the book title, I'd prefer not to have the book title taken. So that's what I'm looking to do when I'm creating a book. And but that's pretty much it. So the next thing is that you just download the free, unless you have Microsoft Word. I would not count on, if you're going to format this for a book, I would not count on using the free version of Microsoft Word in 365. You're really, really limited to your scope as to the formatting of it. So I would try to use Libra. You might be able to set the guidelines for the margins in the Word online in the 365, but I really would avoid um, using it if you can. But that's pretty much it. So let me know what you think. I'm going to keep going through all of these, and for the most part, I've shown you that you can actually create a book. It's pretty easy. Go into Gemini, you put in exactly what I put in, and you're going to come up with the same result. You can also ask it, say, hey, can you give me different ideas of the book? Can you write me a storyline? Anything you can think of in Gemini, and then say, hey, create me an outline, and then bring that outline here to Claude, and you are good to go. All right, my friends. Well, if this helps you, please consider hitting the thumbs up and share it with the world. All right. Thank you for watching. All right, bye.